Today, we are diving into a really fascinating puzzle. We're talking about those hidden forces that stop us dead in our tracks from achieving our most important goals, even when we want them more than anything.
I mean, you've been there, right? You have this absolute conviction that you're going to change. You start a new diet. You commit to being a better, more patient leader. You even make some progress and then, poof, you slide right back to where you started. Sometimes you're even worse off. Sound familiar? It's this super frustrating cycle of high hopes followed by deep disappointment.
So check out this quote from psychologist William Perry. It totally flips the script. What does this person really want, and what will they do to avoid getting it? It suggests our problem isn't just a simple lack of willpower. Nope, it points to something deeper, like an internal puzzle that we are actively, even if we don't realize it, working to avoid solving.
Okay, so let's start our little investigation right there with this idea of the willpower paradox. Why is it that just trying harder so often fails us?
Well, the research is crystal clear on this. Our failure to change is rarely some kind of personal flaw. In fact, get this, studies on cardiac patients show that only 1 in 7 actually manage to change their habits even when their life literally depends on it. They know exactly what to do, they know it's urgent, and the stakes are life or death. The problem isn't willpower, it's a powerful, invisible system working in the exact opposite direction.
So, if it's not willpower, then what on earth is it? Well, it's time to meet the main culprit behind this whole paradox, something psychologists call your mental immune system.
Your mind has what's called an immunity to change. And you can think of it just like your body's immune system. Its number one job is to protect you, to keep things stable. And this isn't a defect, not at all. It's actually an intelligent, powerful system that's designed to keep you safe. At its core, this mental immune system is basically an anxiety management program just running in the background of your mind. It creates this protective shield around you. But, sometimes it works a little too well. It can misidentify a necessary positive change, like, say, taking your medication, as a dangerous threat, and it will attack that change with everything it's got.
And the result? It's this feeling of being completely and totally stuck. It's like you're driving a car with one foot slammed on the gas pedal, that's your desire to change, and your other foot slammed just as hard on the brake. That's your hidden commitment not to change. You're burning a ton of fuel, but you're not going anywhere.
Okay, so to really understand this hidden system, we need to look at how our minds actually grow. And I'm not just talking about learning new facts. This is about fundamentally transforming the way we make sense of the entire world.
So a researcher named Robert Keegan, he identified 3 major stages in adult mental development. A lot of us operate from what he called the socialized mind. That's where our sense of self is shaped by our surroundings, our company culture, our family's expectations. Basically, our beliefs are their beliefs. The next stage is the self-authoring mind. This is where we start to develop our own internal compass, our own personal ideology. We can filter outside ideas through our own values. And then the final stage is the self-transforming mind, where we can actually step outside our own ideology, see its limits, and hold multiple, even conflicting, points of view at the same time. This progression is absolutely key to overcoming our immunity to change.
Now, the best way to understand this shift is with an analogy. Think about the difference between being on the dance floor and being on the balcony at a party. When you're on the dance floor, you are subject to your thoughts and feelings. You're just in it, reacting, caught up in the music. That's the socialized mind. But when you get up to the balcony, those same thoughts and feelings become an object you can look at from a distance. You can see the patterns. This perspective is what defines the self-authoring and self-transforming minds. And gaining that perspective, that's the whole game.
So how do we get from that frantic dance floor up to the calm of the balcony? Well, we need a tool. We need a map that can reveal the hidden logic of our own immune system.
Let's walk through this immunity map using our cardiac patient example. Okay, in column 1, we put the stated goal. Take care of my health. Simple enough. Column 2, though, this requires some brutal honesty. You list all the behaviors that are working against that goal. For him, it's not taking his medication, getting ticked off when his wife reminds him, and not making any time for exercise.
And now, here it is. This is the question that unlocks everything. Instead of asking, why don't you just take your pill, which, just gets you a shrug, we ask something totally different. We ask, imagine you did the opposite of those negative behaviors. Imagine you were perfect about taking your medication. What's the worst fear or feeling that bubbles up?
And that question, that's what reveals column 3, the hidden competing commitments. These are the powerful emotional promises we've made to ourselves that are slamming on the brakes. For our patient, it was a fear of feeling sick, because taking the pill would make his illness feel real.
and an even deeper fear of his wife seeing him as vulnerable. So you see, he has a powerful, hidden commitment to not appear vulnerable.
The final piece of this whole puzzle lies in column 4, the big assumptions. These are the deep, unconscious beliefs that we hold as absolute truth. For this patient, the big assumption is, if my wife sees me as vulnerable, she will be disappointed in me. And another one, if I feel sick, I will feel like an old man with nothing ahead of me. This is the engine that powers his entire immune system.
So, once you have this map, once it's all laid out in front of you, you've done it. You have made the invisible visible. You have successfully climbed from the chaos of the dance floor right up to the perspective of the balcony. And from here, everything can change.
You know, this whole process isn't about blaming yourself for trying to crush your flaws with more willpower. That's not it at all. The goal is simply to see your own framework. Because once you can see that big assumption as just an assumption instead of the gospel truth, you are no longer controlled by it. It starts to lose its power over you. You can begin to question it, to test it, and ultimately to write a new story for yourself.
The real power of this framework isn't just in understanding it, it's in actually applying it. So, I'll leave you with this to think about. What's that one important goal you're struggling with? And more importantly, what big hidden assumption might be the real reason you're stuck? The answer to that could be the key to finally moving forward.